Now, when I was 17, many moons ago, my first car was a Mark II Polo, the bread van shape, and I remember badgering my mum and dad because I really wanted to buy these certain alloys to fit onto this Mark II Polo, and they kept saying no. They kept saying, don't be so stupid, why would you want to do that? And for weeks and weeks I kept saying, oh, but I need them, anyway. They kept saying no, and they were right, because I think the actual alloys would have been worth more than the car, but that's not the point. I desperately wanted to put these wheels on this car, and it's been one of those things that I've never ever really got round to doing. I've always wanted to lower and pimp a vehicle. Yes, I put different wheels on the Defender, but that was a bit different. They were just steel wheels. But today we are at TransporterHQ, and we're going to show you around what these guys do. These guys are the best when it comes to pimping vans. Here comes Pooch, look. Hiya boy, hiya boy. Yeah, these guys are the best when it comes to pimping VW transporters, hence the name. So let's take a look at what these guys do, and we'll have a look at what we are going to do to our California beach. So if you want your transporter to sit differently, these are the guys to come to. They do all sorts of different lowering and also lift kits. And it varies from individual springs all the way up to full air suspension, and also, like I say, full lift kits as well. So if you want to go the other way and lift your transporter, again, they have all the kit to accommodate your needs. Well, it doesn't get much lower than Andy's flatbed. This is sort of the most iconic van that TransporterHQ seem to have on their demo fleet. Now let's ask Andy all about it. So Andy, tell us about what appears to be a T6.1 on the outside.
It does look like one, yeah. So originally we bought it as an old Irish van that didn't run, was no way it was going for an MOT. It was a big rusty mess, and we T5 facelifted it. T5.1 facelifted it and painted it Skoda VRS Meteor Grey. Lowered it, did a few bits to it, and that kind of just took off on social media then. And that's kind of really what made us in the early days. That's what got companies in contact with us about distributing and helping them develop parts. We took it from there to a T6 facelift and painted it chrome yellow, had air suspension on it, and then recently, probably a year ago, with the first lockdown, it kind of sat around here not doing anything, so I made the decision to sell it. Did an advert, kind of a walk around advert to sell it, and thought I just can't sell it, so let's reinvent it again. And that's where this came. So T6.1 facelift, painted it salmon pink, we think. It's not an official colour, it's just a colour out of a RAL code. Yeah, and then just went all out on the interior, full Alcantara interior, rose Alcantara here, grey Alcantara, GT trim with a matching RAL code in the seat stitching, full audio upgrade, you name it, a lot.
Yes, because the seats, yeah, so they're like a tartan seat on it, but they've actually got the outside colour in the tartan.
So this is what you would class as very similar to Golf GTD style trim. Instead of having the grey, it has the same salmon pink RAL code colour throughout the stitching.
So
just
cool.
Little details. And then tomorrow, actually, it's going off to Darkside Developments for some big power. Because, it looks like brand new, and it feels like brand new, and it smells like new. It drives terrible. It's still an 85 brake 1.9 diesel, and it's really painfully slow. And when we're launching over in Europe, and this needs to go and live in the Netherlands for a few months, and I've got to drive over there, and I don't fancy driving 85 brake to the Netherlands. So yeah, it's going to Darkside for bigger turbo, bigger injectors, 6-speed gearbox, and hopefully 220 brake course-ish.
Wow. So this is very much kind of the show car of TransporterHQ, isn't it?
Yeah, this has been used by lots of companies. It's been on different stands. Maguire's have used it, Revo have used it, Alpine Audio have used it. Generally, if there's a big show on, like Ultimate Dubs or something like that. If we're not in it, somebody's using it, it's on their display stand. So it's been a really good marketing tool, one because it's got a massive TransporterHQ logo on the door, but two because it's just so random and so odd. When we did this, not many people had really done a single cab. Lots of people have done it since, but yeah, it just needed to keep evolving. And the next thing's power, really, and then I think we're done. So I can't think of anything else we can do now. We've done a lot, we've exhausted it.
What I do like is the Roscoe paw print flatbed. That is.
Well, this is his sun deck. On a summer's day, this is where you'll find him. He just comes out here, lies on the back, and yeah, the sun's shining, Roscoe's on the sun deck.
Okay, so we're lowering the beach today. There's obviously quite a few different ways you can lower a van. What are the options?
So you tend to find that this van, even a beach, is same standard suspension you'd find on a regular transporter, so it's not necessarily built for comfort. And a lot of people have this opinion, when you lower stuff you're going to sacrifice the ride, and it's just not the case. Lowering it reduces your centre of gravity, as long as you're not making it silly low, like the stuff that's out there. Reduces your body roll, and then adding a good quality coilover means that you can improve your ride by the internals and the dampening and the shims that are inside those. So as a starting point, you tend to find you can just go for standard lowering springs with your original dampers. The problem you tend to find with that is the ride can be referred to as quite crashy, because your spring's shorter than your damper wants to travel, and certainly if you're carrying weight in the back like this is quite heavy, being a beach, having heavy seats and stuff in the back and the pop top, it can be quite heavy. And they tend to sit lower, they sit pitched at the back if you just put lowering springs on. So the next stage up from there is an adjustable lowering spring, so your rear springs have an adjuster in them, so it allows you to make the vehicle sit level. But again, you're still using your original dampers, and then from there you look at going to quality coilovers. There's cheap coilovers, but I think it's a bit of a false economy. If you want to improve your ride, cheap coilovers are okay for looks, but you know, kind of the more money you spend to a certain degree, the better your suspension is. So we're putting the best of the best on this today. So this is having something that's not even available to sell yet, which is the Bilstein B16 Damper. So it's a monotube suspension, adjustable height and also adjustable dampening level. I have this on one of our own vans that we've been testing for a while, and we also have a set that were originally developed for the Tesla powered van that we're building, because that thing does need to be able to be really stiff to go flying around the Nürburgring and round racetracks, whereas on your day-to-day vehicle like this, you can switch it the other way, you can adjust them so you've got comfort and still reduce that body roll and the bounce that you get off just putting lowering springs on. So this is what we're putting on. So this beach is based on a T30 platform. You'll quite often hear people talk about T30 or T32, but the way it's attached to the damper, this is a T30 platform. So this is Bilstein's B16 or PPS 10 T30 suspension set. So it gives you the ability to adjust the ride height. You have an adjuster ring, so you can adjust the front and rear to sit how much higher or lower you want it to go. So like most kind of standard coilovers, you have a range from about 45mm drop down to 70mm. but this one also has the ability to adjust the dampening rate. So you have dials on the bottom that adjusts how the oil travels through the shims internally, and you can make the ride from 1 being super soft, like uncomfortably soft, round to 10, which would be super hard and even uncomfortably hard, but you can find the point in between that matches the way you like your vehicle to handle and ride, and also how your weight's distributed through the back. And the same for the rears, adjustable dampening again. You have adjusters that sits on the spring, and that allows you to wind it up and down to find the ride height and make it sit level, but also the dampening adjuster again makes you gives you the ability to adjust how it dampens and how comfortable or how soft or harder the ride is. So this isn't available yet. It's something that Bilstein will be bringing out in the future. It won't be cheap, but if you want the best of the best, this is it.
And do you have to remove the wheel or jack up the van to change the dampening?
Yeah, I mean, people do for the dampening, sorry, so just the dampening. No, on the height wise you would need to. Your fronts you can actually adjust on your drive just by removing your wheels, but the rear, the adjuster sits at the top. Common mistake a lot of people do, actually, they put the adjuster at the bottom, but the adjuster sits at the top, so he springs in the way. So to adjust the height, yes, you would need to jack it up, but to adjust the dampening rate, no, you can just lie down under your van and do it. They're really easy and clear to see. The dial has a real distinct click sound to it, so you can kind of fish around, grab it and turn it to click it on the front and the rear. It's dead easy to do. You have to lie on the ground to do it, but you know, it's nothing that needs to be done on a ramp.
Yeah, so make sure you check out TransporterHQ's YouTube channel. Andy explains in great detail all about different things like the suspension. There's also videos about the audio upgrades that you can do. There's loads of different things. So yeah, if you want to go really low, like what the flatbed is out there, then you need to start looking at air suspension. And yeah, there's tons of videos about that as well. So linked in the description below is TransporterHQ's channel. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to them. Oh, and also I should mention, Andy briefly mentioned it, the Tesla van. They are actually building a van that's going to have Tesla motor. Is there 2 Tesla motors? 2 Tesla motors inside, so it's going to be absolutely nuts, and they're planning on lapping the Nürburgring stupidly fast in that. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel and watch the build for that as well. Well, I've managed to nab a cap off them. They look so cool. The wheels are absolutely awesome. They really suit the Ascot grey van. They're like a bronze colour. I think they're called like Def Bronze or something like that. They're very, very cool. But yeah, let us know in the comments below what you think with the new ride height and the new wheels. They're 20-inch wheels. I just think it looks absolutely awesome. So it'll be really interesting to see what it's like to drive as soon as I get out here, see what it's like on the roads, the back roads, and see what the handling's like. I'm sure it's absolutely transformed, but I will keep you updated. I'll do another video later on to show you guys exactly what it's like to drive. But thank you so much for watching, and a huge thank you to the guys at TransporterHQ as well. It's been fantastic here. It's really good to see exactly what they get up to, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out TransporterHQ's channel in the description below. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. They do awesome things, really, really cool. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we shall see you in the next video. Cheers.